Last question here is, what are the methods of setting intentions to focus on a goal and achieving a goal do I recommend? I practice Qigong, Montauk Chia, microcosmic orbits, etc. And how should I focus the power? Meaning, do you make sigils, write down goals, visualize, speak what you want into existence, or just focus on gathering energy and not do any of these things, okay? I want us to start seeing, and this is the final question that I'm going to answer here today, and then we're going to do our giveaway. I want us to start seeing that every part of when we're creating or developing something is all a part of the metaphysical aspects of how we're approaching these creations and developments. So when I'm doing something, there's several components involved in what I'm doing. So let's just take even presenting today's show. So obviously I've been meditating throughout the week, even when I'm asleep, or even when I choose consciously to go into a meditation, and things will come to me from, let's see, the aether that I feel like that we should possibly discuss. So instead of counting on my memory all the time to remember that, which I found is not a good thing to do, especially when there's tons of thoughts and ideas that are going to continuously come out before finally that show, I write it down, okay? Now, when I'm writing something down or even typing it, I'm creating a sigil because I'm using a language, and I'm also observing that time and that moment to coalesce that energy from that thought into something static, okay, which is a sigil. A sigil is, just for those that are not aware what sigils are, they're symbols, also talismans, they're symbols or inscriptions that bear marks of what it is that you're looking to manifest, okay? But that's not it, because that's just, let's say, the code. Now you got to know the sequence of the code. So generally there is a specific time that things should be conscribed, and that has a lot to do with what we know with planetary energies. There's a time and place to do different things. And then most importantly, there is the intention. This is the greatest part of the sigil. You could be writing scribble scrabble, but if your intentions are strong, then what you're doing is you're consecrating that time and that space into something static. And the power of this sigil or this talisman is that once you do that, even if you pull it out 3 months from now, it still has the same power in which you use to consecrate it in. So there's a big part of consecration that comes into play here. So what I'm saying is that my standard actions for even creating what I'm going to speak about with the show today has every single component of what is being mentioned here about methods of creating manifestations by setting the intentions properly. It's just we're putting it sometimes under the guise of just being only metaphysical actions. But when we start seeing all of our actions as being a part of those metaphysical actions, then you will say, well, I'm doing that anyway. So I'm setting the intentions. I'm focusing on the intention. I know I got this show coming up in a week. I'm going to be meditating, or I may be in the shower, I may be in the bath, I may be relaxed somewhere. Then a thought will come to me, a very powerful thought about what should be discussed. So I'll write it down. When I write it down, I've now consecrated that into a sigil. You're calling it language. I may even use short script. I may even write it down physically. Now I've set that intention into play. And then as I'm breathing, because I'm always breathing, I'm breathing more life into that, because it will remain part of my focus, especially as I get closer and closer to that day, to actually bring forth this manifestation of having this show where I'm bringing out these intentions, okay? So if you can look at everything that you're doing in life as also containing these same procedures that are sometimes guised under just metaphysical actions, you would actually see that you're already doing what is necessary to manifest those intentions. You just need to realize that. In every aspect of things, just see it as it really is, and remove, any kind of titles or any kind of suggestions and things off from around it that are hinting that it's not exactly what you're doing. Meaning that when you're writing stuff or even typing things, you may think that that's just something I'm writing and typing, but no, you're creating a sigil at that point, and you're consecrating the energy into that space.